We're out at the range today, and I'm going to compare the most advanced form of archery to one of the most primitive forms of firearms, the muzzleloader. So which do you think is more accurate, more powerful, and more deadly? So we shot this gelatin block at 50 yards with the 290 Hornady bore driver out of a muzzleloader going about 1950 feet per second. And as you can see, the performance was fantastic. The energy dump was almost immediate, created a big wound channel here, then continued to pass completely through this gelatin block, which really is a good medium to replicate the internal structure of an animal, a deer, an elk. Obviously there's no bone in here, but all the fluid inside of an animal. So this gives us a good idea on penetration performance. I've never shot it though with a crossbow with a broadhead, so I have no idea how far the penetration is going to go, what the wound channel is going to look like. So I'm going to go take this block out to 50 yards, see how it performs. All right, let's see how it goes. I hit it dead center, which is perfect. Now the question is, how much penetration did I really get in a 16-inch gelatin block? You know, I've always wanted to do this. There's so many times that you have a theory on how something should perform, but unless you try it, you have no idea. And I've loved these broadheads, I've loved these arrows, and I can tell you right now, they've performed, look at this, right to the fletching. Okay, so this is a 20-inch arrow right now. So you got 4 inches off here, 16 inches of penetration. Look at this, the broadhead sticking out the back side. Okay, if that doesn't tell you everything right there, all the way through the gelatin block. Look at how wide this is, top to bottom from the arrow. So you basically have an inch on either side, and it's all the way through this gelatin block. The arrow didn't twist, so as soon as it hit the gelatin block, all that energy was transferred through the arrow into penetration and all the way through the block. Look, you can actually see the X mark of the block right there. I don't think that can get any better, to be honest with you. So I'm going to call this a tie. Better penetration with the muzzleloader, but we are shooting almost 2,000 feet a second. 290 grains on the bullet, 430 grains on the crossbow arrow. I think either one is definitely going to kill deer, elk, basically anything in North America. So I've shot muzzleloaders for, I don't know, decades right now, and the evolution of the sport has taken this to a 300-yard game and maybe beyond because of the technology, the powder and the bullets, the accuracy of manufacturing. So we're going to be shooting the 290 Hornady bore driver, which is my favorite bullet, accuracy, penetration, performance. And then we're going to be shooting 120 grains of the Blackhorn 209, which is a muzzleloading propellant. And based off the chronograph reading, I'm getting about 1950 as far as feet per second of velocity. So plenty of energy downrange. I have shot many groups that were sub-inch at 100 yards. We'll see how the gun performs today, how well I'm shooting, but I really expect this gun to cloverleaf at 100. The key to shooting accurately with a muzzleloader is not only figuring out the right recipe of the gun, and every gun, I will tell you, is a little bit different. So the difference between 120 grains and 125 or 115 could tighten your group up a little bit. This barrel seems to like this particular load. And obviously your loading techniques, your cleaning techniques, all of that determines how accurate your group's going to be. Okay, when I slide that down, a little bit of pressure on the powder. That's it. Take our first shot. So, challenge here is group size, not point of impact, group size. All right, fire in the hole. All right, about 1.5 inches low, not bad. Let's see what our second shot is. It's all about How tight is that grip? Pressure's on. Fire the hole. Oh boy. This crossbow is gonna have his work cut out for it. The Encore has felt his groove today. So if we don't have any operator error here, this could be a pretty tight group. And there. The QLA makes it nice to load like that. They load like a dream. Pressure. Whew. All right, it's all on me now. I don't know what the gun will do. Let the smoke clear. Oh boy. I'll take that any day. Now, the question is, how tight will the crossbow shoot? So what I'm shooting are the 20-inch Victory X-Bolt shafts. I did custom fletch these AAE Hybrid XBs. So these vanes are matched for the crossbow, the speed. As you can see here, they've got a right helical on them. I'm shooting a heavy brass insert in 100 grain tip, so my FOC is somewhere around 16%, which is where you want it to be. IP knock. So to me, this is the best shooting arrow setup that you can have for any crossbow. So no excuses on the arrow, I can promise you that. Okay, maybe a touch high and a touch left, like 11 o'clock on the bullseye. Again, 100 yards, wind drift, me moving around. I'll take it all day long. That absolutely would have killed any animal. Now what I found with crossbows, they're actually more accurate if you shoot the same arrow all the time. So if I shot that arrow, pulled it and shot it and marked the group will be considerably tighter than shooting a group with different arrows. So I always sight in my hunting arrow to the exact arrow that I'm going to kill with. But in this case, we're shooting a 3-shot group. All right, a little bit higher. You know, definitely wider group already than the muzzleloader. But I mean, probably, I'm guessing maybe an inch and a half. Not bad. I mean, you gotta figure the time in flight with an arrow is so much longer than a crossbow. So you have a lot more environmental considerations you got to go through. Just a little bit of wind is going to move this arrow a lot more than that muzzleloading bullet. So, see if we can't split the difference. If we split the difference, that'd be impressive. All right, that was good. Really good shot. All right, let's go down, measure the difference. Oh my goodness. You know, there's sometimes you have a day that you got to just save the group. And I think that's one of those days with the Encore muzzleloader. Look at this. It just drilled one hole. That's amazing. You figure the bullet is a 1/2 inch in diameter. So literally it went through the same hole, 3 shots, maybe moved it out a little bit. But look at our crossbow group. Look at these two. I told you I had one high. Now this could have been me with a little bit of shoulder pressure. This could have been a little bit of environmental factors with the wind, but look at these two. Touching at 100 yards. So something to consider, your max effective range with a crossbow you know, call it, you know, 60, 80 yards. I know there's print, you can go beyond that, but I personally have killed out to 80 yards. So if you think about the effective range of a muzzleloader is out to 300 yards, and a crossbow is, you know, in that 60 to 80 yard range. So basically 3 times the distance for a muzzleloader than a crossbow. And here at 100 yards, I would expect my group to at least be twice the size with a crossbow than it is a muzzleloader, and that's what we're showing here. So I'm gonna call this a draw. Now we're on to our next challenge. Muzzleloader versus apple. Fire in the hole. Well, I don't know whether the apple rolled off the post or exploded. Because by the time the smoke cleared, I couldn't see. So let's shoot the other apple with a crossbow. All right, big challenge. Oh. It's a small little target. Now we know the crossbow's accurate enough. Let's see how she does. Oh, yes! Got it! Oh, I was nervous. I could see my heartbeat in the scope. That's a long shot with a crossbow. I don't know if I dead centered it. Doesn't matter. That apple was only about this big. All right, let's go down, see how both shots turned out. Well, if we proved anything, is that within their effective range, the crossbow can certainly kill anything in North America, and so can a muzzleloader. Muzzleloader has the advantage of penetration, accuracy at longer distances, and obviously more hydrostatic shock, more impact when it hits something. But the crossbow gives you that big cut with that broadhead, gives you an effective range beyond traditional archery methods to be able to shoot, you know, at 60, 80 yards. Now let's find our pieces of our apple here. Whoa. Well, there is no pieces of the apple with the muzzleloader. It went splat. Oh, there's the center punch at 100 yards. Center punch with the arrow. That doesn't get any better right there. I'm impressed with this. I'm impressed. That's the shot of the day right there. And the other one is applesauce. Crossbow versus muzzleloader. Fun either way.